Have you ever had one of those evenings where your body feels heavy, your eyes are dry, and all you want is rest, but sleep simply refuses to come? You've turned off the lights, pulled up the covers, maybe even taken something to help you drift off, but inside, something's still humming. Your legs can't get comfortable. Your mind is flipping through the pages of the day. And in that stillness, you start to wonder, is it always going to be like this now? Lying in bed, tired but restless, full of thoughts, but empty of energy? It's a quiet kind of suffering. And the older we get, the more invisible it becomes. People expect you to slow down, to feel tired, to nap more during the day, to sleep less at night, to lose your rhythm. But inside, you remember a different version of you. A version that woke up with energy, that moved through the morning with clarity, that ended the day not with exhaustion, but with completion. That part of you isn't gone. It's just waiting for something it can follow again. Because here's the truth. Better sleep doesn't begin when your head hits the pillow. And real morning energy doesn't start with coffee. It starts with rhythm, with gentle, repeatable steps that help your body remember how to rest and how to rise. Not by force, not by habit, but through presence, softness, and consistency. That's why this video isn't just about sleep. It's about a routine, a real one. Not a checklist, not a trend, but a sequence of 7 simple, deeply supportive actions you can begin weaving into your evenings. 7 parts of a ritual designed specifically for aging bodies, sensitive nervous systems, and hearts that are still learning how to let go at the end of the day. We'll talk about things you might not expect. The way breath changes after 60. The hidden impact of lighting and background noise. The small foods that help stabilize your body overnight. And the emotional shifts, grief, fear, overthinking, that often sneak into our nights if we don't know how to meet them. So if your nights have grown too long and your mornings too short, if you've been waking up more tired than you were when you went to bed, this is for you. Because deep sleep and real energy aren't about luck. They're about preparation. And you're allowed to reclaim that preparation one gentle step at a time. Let's begin with something your body already knows how to do. Something it's done every moment of your life, but may have forgotten how to use fully. Breathing. Not the shallow, tight kind that happens when you're thinking about bills or watching the evening news. Not the automatic kind that keeps you upright at the dinner table, but the kind of breath that undoes. The kind that slows everything down from the inside. Because here's the truth few people talk about. The older we get, the more tension we carry, not just in our backs or shoulders, but in our lungs. We hold ourselves in without meaning to, and every part of us stays just a little too alert, just a little too braced. Even when we're lying down, even when the lights are off, that tension tells the body, stay awake, stay ready. And unless we intentionally release it, sleep becomes something we chase instead of something we fall into. That's why the first part of a truly restorative evening routine isn't a supplement or a sleeping mask. It's breath. Specifically, a pattern of slow, rhythmic breathing that guides your nervous system out of fight or flight and into rest and restore. It doesn't take long, but it has to be real, not forced, not perfect, just practiced. John, 74, never thought much about his breath. He was a military man, a doer, always focused on the next task. But after retirement, the nights got longer. He couldn't turn off the thoughts. His chest would tighten, especially after the evening news. He didn't want to take pills, so his son showed him a pattern. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale through the mouth for 6. At first, John scoffed, but he tried, and something shifted. It was like my whole body exhaled, he said, like I stopped holding attention I didn't even know was there. This kind of breathing isn't about oxygen. It's about permission. It tells the body, we're done for today. You can stop scanning. You can soften now. And once that message is received, the rest of the routine becomes easier. The mind slows down. The jaw unclenches. The pulse drops, and blood pressure gently eases. If you've never tried this, here's where to start. Find a quiet space. Sit upright, or lie down with a pillow under your knees. Inhale slowly through your nose. Feel your belly rise, not your chest. Hold that breath gently. Then exhale through your mouth as if you're sighing on purpose. Let the breath leave fully. and then do it again. 4 or 5 rounds. That's all. Not to sleep, but to arrive. Because sleep isn't just the absence of noise or light. It's the return to safety. And the breath is the first signal that the danger has passed. That you are not at war with your day. That you've done enough. And now you can rest. The second part of your evening routine isn't complicated. It doesn't require discipline or effort or a special app. It just asks for one thing: warmth. Not just around you, but inside you. A gentle, steady signal that tells your body it's time to let go of alertness and begin the descent into sleep. Because after 60, your internal systems don't shift gears as quickly as they used to. The transitions between energy and rest, light and dark, action and surrender, they take more care. And warmth is one of the most reliable ways to make that transition smooth again. You've probably felt it without knowing why. A warm bath that leaves you yawning before you've even dried off. A cup of tea that makes your shoulders drop. A cozy blanket over your lap that makes your eyes feel heavy. These aren't coincidences. They're biological cues. Signals that your core temperature is preparing to drop. And that drop is what allows you to fall asleep more easily and stay asleep more deeply. What many people don't realize is that the body needs to cool slightly to enter restorative sleep. But to do that, it must first feel safe, and feeling warm is the first step to feeling safe. Especially as we age and circulation changes and extremities get colder faster and hormones fluctuate more during the night. Rita, 71, used to get into bed feeling cold, no matter what the thermostat said. Her feet were icy, her shoulders tight. She'd wake up several times in the night, feeling jittery and unsure why. A sleep therapist suggested a simple change: warm socks and a heated neck wrap before bed, plus a mug of warm milk with a pinch of turmeric and honey. Within a week, she was sleeping longer. It wasn't just the sleep, she said. It was how comforted I felt before it even began. That's the key. You're not just warming the body, you're soothing the system, giving it a cue that the fight is over, that it can stop producing adrenaline, that it can hand over control to melatonin, digestion, and tissue repair. And it's not just internal warmth that matters. External cues matter too. Dim lights, soft fabric, a room that feels quiet, not just audibly but emotionally. The older we get, the more sensitive we become to stimulus. Light, sound, even unresolved conversations can keep the body slightly on edge. But when the surroundings become soft and warm, the body mirrors that state. You don't need a routine that looks like a spa. You need one that says, "You're home now." So pour a warm drink, not caffeine. Sit with it. Hold it in both hands. Feel your pulse slow as you sip. If it helps, add a light snack with protein or fat, something to anchor your blood sugar through the night. Let your body know it will be cared for, even while you sleep. Because warmth isn't a luxury. It's a biological bridge. And when you offer it to yourself consistently, you'll begin to notice something subtle but life-changing. Your body will stop resisting the night. And instead, it will begin to trust it. The third step in this evening rhythm isn't about your thoughts or your diet or even your comfort. It's about light. Specifically, the light your eyes take in after the sun goes down, and how that light shapes the chemicals that govern your sleep. Because while most people think of sleep as something that just happens when you're tired, your brain sees it differently. It sees it as a response to darkness. And when the light lingers, so does your alertness. As we age, our internal clocks, what scientists call the circadian rhythm, become more fragile. They're more easily thrown off by subtle cues. And the strongest cue of all is light. Your body has a tiny structure deep in the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It acts like a timekeeper, reading the environment and deciding whether to keep you alert or begin the descent into sleep. And the information it uses comes straight through your eyes. That means every time you check your phone before bed, every bright lamp that stays on past 9 p.m., every flicker from the television, it's telling your brain, stay awake, stay alert, hold the melatonin. And the result? You lie in bed, tired but wired. Your thoughts spin. Your body can't quite settle. And the next morning, you feel like you didn't sleep at all. Helen, 79, had this exact experience. Her evening routine was quiet, even pleasant, but her living room stayed brightly lit until bedtime. After learning about how light affects the pineal gland, the part of the brain that releases melatonin, she made one change, dimming the lights 2 hours before bed. She switched to warm, amber bulbs, lit candles during quiet reading, turned off the television earlier. Within a week, she was falling asleep faster. "It wasn't just my body," she said. "My thoughts got softer too." This is because light doesn't just keep your eyes open. It keeps your brain activated, especially blue light, the kind from LED bulbs, phones, tablets, and most screens. That light suppresses melatonin for hours. And for older adults whose melatonin levels are already declining naturally, that suppression has a bigger impact. But the fix is simple. It's not about total darkness right away. It's about gradual dimming, about guiding your system into night the way the sky used it before artificial light. Start small, switch to softer lighting in the evening. Avoid overhead lights. Use lamps with low, warm bulbs. If you must use screens, add a blue light filter, or better, put them away an hour before bed. Let the shadows return. Let your nervous system start reading the signs. It's safe now. It's quiet. The light is gone, and rest can begin. These small changes might seem insignificant, but for your brain, they're powerful signals. And when they become consistent, your sleep becomes consistent. Your rhythms begin to repair. You fall asleep more easily and wake with less fog, less tension, less resistance. Because your body remembers the sun. It remembers the dark. And when you honor those rhythms again, it remembers how to rest. There's one part of the body most people forget to settle before bed. It's not your back, not your neck, not even your stomach. It's your heart. And not just the organ, but the emotional center. The place where everything from the day lingers. Conversations, regrets, what ifs, worries, gratitudes you forgot to speak, things you wish had gone differently, things you're afraid might happen tomorrow. The body can be ready, the lights can be low, but if the heart is still noisy, sleep will keep its distance. This is especially true as we get older, because nights grow quieter, the house emptier, and in that quiet, what's unresolved gets louder. The memories come, the ache of loss, the fear of decline, the sudden awareness of how much we carry that we've never spoken aloud. And too often, we just lie there thinking we're failing at sleep, when really, we're just full. This is why the fourth part of your evening rhythm must include emotional release. Not dramatic, not complicated, just something that signals, today is complete. I can let it go. For some people, this looks like writing. Just 3 sentences, not a diary, not a story, just what felt heavy today, what felt good, what I need to set down for the night. For others, it's prayer, not as a performance, but as a whisper, a conversation with whatever feels bigger than you. And for some, it's simply speaking something out loud to no one. I did my best today. I'm tired. I'm ready to rest. Josephine, 81, started doing this after her husband passed. The nights were the hardest. That's when the grief swelled. The silence felt endless. Her daughter gave her a small notebook. Each night before bed, she wrote down one thing she missed and one thing she still had. I don't cry as much now, she said, but I still write. It empties the ache. Emotion doesn't need to be solved before bed, but does need to be acknowledged. Otherwise, it becomes background noise in the mind. It dances in your dreams. It tugs at your muscles. It wakes you at 3 a.m. with questions you can't answer in the dark. So tonight, ask yourself, what do I still feel? And can I get a place to rest too? You don't need to be strong at bedtime. You need to be honest. And when the heart feels seen, even by yourself, it no longer has to shout. It can soften. And in that softening, sleep enters. Not as escape, but as permission. There's a kind of stillness that doesn't come from doing nothing. It comes from moving just enough. Slowly, gently, with care. Because sometimes, in order to sleep, the body first needs to be reminded that it's here, that it has weight, that it belongs to itself. And that's what movement does, not the kind that energizes, but the kind that grounds. After 60, many people start to avoid evening movement. They think it will wake them up, that their joints hurt, that it's better to be still. But when you've spent the day in your head, reading, thinking, worrying, and your body hasn't been fully felt, that disconnect becomes a kind of home. A low-level tension. The mind floats, the muscles brace, and you carry all that into bed. But 5 minutes of mindful movement, that can change everything. Think of gentle stretches, shoulder rolls, neck circles, standing by the bed and slowly lifting your arms with your breath, lying on the floor and rocking your knees side to side, massaging your feet with your hands. None of this is about fitness. It's about returning to your body, giving it a voice, telling it, you're allowed to slow down now. Gary, 70, started doing a simple routine at night, 10 minutes of seated movement, twisting side to side, forward fold, gentle breath with each motion. I don't do it for exercise, he said. I do it so my mind and body aren't strangers when I close my eyes. And that's the point. This kind of movement reestablishes connection. It says, here I am. I'm whole. I'm heavy. I'm ready to rest. There's also a biological reason this helps. Movement before bed stimulates lymph flow, calms the vagus nerve, lowers cortisol. It tells the sympathetic system, the part that's been on guard all day, to step back. It makes the body feel more settled, not more alert. If you don't know where to start, here's something simple. Stand beside your bed. Inhale and lift your arms. Exhale and lower them slowly. Roll your shoulders. Bend your knees gently, just enough to feel your balance. Sway side to side. Close your eyes and notice how your feet press into the floor. Feel the weight, the rhythm, the safety, and then stop. Stand still. Let the echo of movement stay in your body. That's the state you want to take into bed. Not stiffness, not numbness, but softened presence. Because the body, too, wants to be included in the closing of the day. It wants to feel touched, listened to, welcomed back. And when it is, it no longer holds tension through the night. It releases it one breath, one muscle, one quiet moment at a time. Sleep doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens in a space, a room, a bed, a set of signals that your body reads long before you close your eyes. And those signals, they speak louder than you think. The texture of the air, the angle of the lamp, the hum of a hallway light, the coolness of your pillow. These are the things that tell your body you're safe here. You can let go. But for many people, especially after 60, that space has become accidental. A bedroom full of practical clutter, a TV still glowing on the dresser, a clock that flashes every time your eyes open at 2 a.m. And without knowing it, you're sending your body 1,000 mixed messages. Stay alert, pay attention, be ready. Right in the place where you're trying to rest. Your body is listening, always. And when the room feels unsettled, you feel unsettled. That's why the sixth part of a real sleep routine is tending to your environment. Not redecorating, not perfection, just awareness. How does your room feel when you walk into it at night? Does your breath deepen? Or does something in you stay tense? Margaret, 77, didn't think much about her bedroom. It was clean, organized, functional, but she couldn't sleep. One day, her granddaughter came to visit and said, "It's so bright in here at night." She hadn't noticed. The streetlights bled through the blinds. Her bedside lamp was cool white. Her room faced east, but her curtains were thin. With a few small changes, blackout panels, a warm bulb, a quiet diffuser, her sleep deepened. Not because she changed herself, but because she changed the signals. Sound matters too. For some, silence is peaceful. For others, it feels lonely. A gentle white noise machine or soft ambient music can create a layer of comfort that anchors the nervous system. And temperature? Crucial. The body sleeps best in a slightly cool room, around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That drop in core temperature is one of the strongest biological signals for deep rest. Even scent plays a role. Certain smells, lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, can activate calming pathways in the brain. A drop on the pillow, a spray on the sheets, a tiny ritual that says, "You're home." And finally, consider the layout. Is your room arranged in a way that makes you feel ease or effort? Can you reach what you need without strain? Can you move freely, even at night? If you need to get up, These things matter, not because you're being picky, but because your body is reading everything. And the more clearly your space says it's time to rest, the less your mind has to work to believe it. So what does it all come down to? 7 small parts: a breath, a cup, a soft light, a quiet sentence, a stretch, a still room. None of it dramatic, none of it difficult. But together, these pieces become something powerful. They become rhythm. They become safety. They become a quiet, repeated way of telling your whole self, the day is done. You can rest now. And when the body hears that message enough times, it starts to believe it. The chest doesn't brace as tightly. The mind doesn't spiral as long. The heart doesn't cling so hard to the unfinished. It learns, slowly, gently, how to descend, how to fold into stillness, how to trust the dark. This isn't about perfect sleep or chasing youth. It's about reclaiming something much more important: the ability to close a day completely, to feel finished, held, cared for, not by someone else, but by your own hands, your own breath, your own choices. Too many people over 60 start to believe that sleep will never be good again, that mornings will always feel heavy, that energy is something that left them behind. But that's not always true. Sometimes it's not the years, it's the rhythm. And rhythm can be restored, slowly, repeatedly, one evening at a time. Dorothy, 80, said best. After a few weeks of practicing her routine, she didn't just sleep better, she woke up differently. I didn't dread the morning, she said. I felt like I'd been somewhere, like I'd returned with something in me refilled. That's what real sleep gives us. It's not just absence of wakefulness. It's repair. It's softness. It's energy that doesn't come from coffee or habit, but from deep inside the tissues. And to get that kind of sleep, we must approach it with reverence, with ritual, with the same care we give to others, finally offered to ourselves. So tonight, choose one piece. Just one. Maybe the breath. Maybe the light. Maybe the warmth in your hands as you hold a mug of tea. Let it begin there. And then, over time, let the rhythm build. Not as pressure, but as permission. To be tired. To be ready. To be human. And if this video gave you something to think about, if it stirred a memory of how good it used to feel to wake up ready for the day, let us know. Leave a comment. Tell us what part of the evening you're reclaiming first. Like the video, subscribe, and explore the rest of our channel where we talk about real tools for real lives, especially after 60. Thank you for being with us. Share your stories in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical and powerful insights into life, health, and renewal after 60. We're here with you every step of the way.